Let's Uncommon Fossil today. Going to be talking about an Arceus deck, but first want to talk about the progress I've made in the ranked ladder. Started out, I think, at 220. I am up to 1,210, so almost 2,000 points earned towards it. I am in Master League, which is the league right before Arceus League. And I knew the progress would be pretty good since they redid the system, and I had a video on that a few weeks ago, but I'm surprised at how much progress I made considering I've largely been doing the starter decks in their original form and upgraded form, but still a lot of them are not the top tier decks, the top meta decks, so I was really surprised by the amount of progress I'd made, pleased by it, and now I think what I want to do, there's almost 2 weeks left. I'd like to take a few days and grind towards Arceus League, see what I can do. So if for every win, you get 10 more points than a loss. It's 30 points when you're a Master League for a win, 20, you lose 20 for a loss. So even if you go 50-50, you will make progress, obviously slower progress, but want to find a deck where I'll win at least 50%, want to be 60% or higher really, and then the progress won't be too bad. So I'd like to, within a couple days, get to Arceus League. So right now I'm in Victini, want to each day go from, say, Victini to Shaman to Mew, and then to Arceus. And what deck have I chosen? That's looking for a deck that I enjoy playing, that I think will do pretty well, has some good matchups, and will set up fairly well. So going with just a regular Arceus deck. I like Arceus. Trinity Nova, 200 damage, accelerates to other V Pokemon energies. You know what it does. But then the Starbirth ability, search your deck for any 2 cards once during the course of the game. Really good, just helps things set up, which is so key, right? So, because this doesn't have any other engine really than the Arceus, get things set up, and then you just go. That's what it is. So a 4-3 line there, and then it's playing Alolan Vulpix and Noivern, which are some of the Pokemon I have in my my counter deck, which is using Pidgeot EX, Charizard EX, and has an Arceus largely for just its ability. Vulpix has the Snow Mirage. Alolan Vulpix Vstar has Snow Mirage, does 160 HP for Watercolor's Colorless, which is an okay amount, but not great. But then, and it's 240 HP, so it's a little low. That part is unfortunate. But this attack's damage isn't affected by any effects on your opponent's active Pokemon. So it hits through effects. So if you're up against Mimikyu, you're okay still. That's very important. And then during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from Pokemon that have an ability. And a lot of Pokemon have abilities, and a lot of the key decks, the key attackers, have abilities on them. Chen Pao, no damage. Radiant Greninja, no damage against the Chen Pao matchup. Excalibur does no damage either, so that's a great matchup. And Charizard EX, of course, tremendous Pokemon, has an ability, Pidgeot EX, so just many Pokemon we win there. And then Noivern EX is a 1/1 line of that, which I also have in that counter deck. Counter Covert Flight does 70 damage to Colress, and then it prevents all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon, so very good there. You can play with the double turbo or 2 other energies. Obviously, sometimes 70 damage isn't huge, so reducing it to 50 can be a problem, particularly in the Iron Future Hands matchup. Well, that's all basic, and Covert Flight stops it. The Iron Crown hits through effects, does 50 damage, I think. So getting through them faster than they get through us can be very important there. So in that matchup, I've learned to be wary about attaching double turbo to the Noivern EX. And then we also have the energy here. We have 1 Psychic and 1 Darkness energy for Dominating Echo, does 140. And then during your opponent's next turn, they can't play any special energy or stadiums from their hands, and that can be useful as well. And I did say there was no engine in the deck. That was, I guess, a bit of a lie. We do play a copy of Radiant Greninja. You discard an energy, draw 2 cards. And we do play Water Energy in the deck, so we can attack with it as well. Partly, look, I like the walling aspects of the Vulpix, the Noivern. Arceus obviously does decent damage. You can win games just with Arceus as well. And its V-Star power is super good. It doesn't have as many options as that other box with the Charizard EX, the Pidgeot EX, but it doesn't have the rare candy. It doesn't have the stage 2s, it doesn't have the rare candy, so it makes the deck a little more streamlined and a little more, it sets up better, I do believe. So we play, jumping right to the energies, 4 double turbos. Arceus decks basically always want that. We play 1 V-Guard energy, reduces damage from opponent's V Pokemon by 30. That can be important. Giratina V-Star is scary for this because unfortunately none of our counters work against it, and it does big damage. But by taking 30 less damage, they don't one-shot the Arceus V-Star with their first attack, so they have to use the second attack, and they can only use that once over the course of the game. So the V-Guard energy has benefit there. Play 1 medical energy as well. When you attach it, it heals 30 damage from that Pokemon and provides 1 color's energy. So, I do think it works well with this deck. We play 5 basic water energies. That's what we need with the Alolan Vulpix V-Star, which is kind of a primary attacker in this deck. So a bunch of waters, 1 psychic, 1 darkness, so we can power up the Noivern EX. So those are the energies there. Getting into the trainers, a decent mix of trainers, which isn't a surprise. Hit the supporters first. 4 copies of boss's orders. We're it's a counter style deck, so 4 boss's orders makes a lot of sense. We do have Prime Catcher as well for some more gusting, since I was talking boss's gusting. So Prime Catcher in that deck, which is super nice as well, and it allows us to switch, which is good. 3 Professor's Research just to help set up, 2 Iono to get things going or disrupt our opponent's hand. 2 Professor Turo Scenario, which is higher than a lot of times I'd play just 1, but this deck plays 2, and it is good. We just want to get the damaged Pokemon out of play. These walling Pokemon are not perfect walls in most cases, so sometimes you want to keep it there, slow your opponent down, scoop it up, and then reset it up again then begin to set up that same turn. 2 Colors to Experiment just gives some good draw. You don't have to discard your hand, so there's times when that's the best card. 1 Cheren's Care, which is really nice with the Arceus, right? You put a colorless Pokemon that has damage counters on it into your hand, along with all attached cards, so therefore the energies come back in as well. So it's a way to stream Arceus V-Star's attack. 1 copy of Eri, which is a good disruption card. Your opponent reveals their hand, you discard 2 item cards there. 1 copy of Judge, another good kind of disruption card. See some fresh cards and disrupt your opponent's hand. Pokemon, search for Nest Ball, get these basics in play. And for Ultra Ball, we have these big evolutions, so we need that for sure. 2 Lost Vacuum, so 2 copies here, get rid of a tool or a Stadium in play. You have to lost soda card when you play the Lost Vacuum to make that happen. Mentioned the counter catcher already. Super Rod's just good. Put some up to 3 basic energies or Pokemon from the discard pile into your deck. Really good, especially against, you need your Noivern EX to win a game. It gets knocked out, or they knock out your Noibat. Get the Pokemon back in the deck, redraw it, or just get some basic energy from the discard pile into the deck is nice as well. 1 switch card, we know that's useful. And 2 Lost Cities, get rid of some troublesome Pokemon. Get them out of the way, right? If we're in a match, in a counter type deck and scenario, get rid of the Pokemon that cause us a lot of trouble if we can. So Lost City just gets the Pokemon out of our way for the rest of the game. So that's the list. I am enjoying the list and finding it to be pretty effective. Let us take a look at the list in action now. All right, let's see what happens here. Would like to go first. Need to get energy attached to an Arceus on turn 1 if we go first. That's really important to set up whatever we want to do. Lost the coin toss, so we'll see what our opponent does. They may want to go first more often than not, or if they go second, it's because they're going to probably, we have to think, if they want to go second, there's a decent chance they're going to knock us out, or it may be a future hands deck, in which case they're going to attack with Miraidon, which won't knock out an Arceus, but it certainly does damage to it, and they're setting up their next turn, right? So we're going second, so that's fine. I mean, it is what it is, right? We want, all right, well, starting Vulpix, don't love that. So I'll say done. I can attack for free, though, right? It does 10, or it does 60 if it's a V. So, probably give our opponent a little poke. Actually, I'm hitting them for 60 if they have to leave it there. So they're actually kind of unhappy. So they're not happy at this moment at all, I can't imagine. I think I want to... So this is good. This is good for us, softening them up, because I don't love this matchup. So I don't want to use, I want to Colress. I don't want to Iono. My opponent doesn't have much going on, right? So grab the energy. I'll grab the boss. I don't think actually, the Eri's potentially pretty good too, isn't it? I have 2 boss already, so I'm going to ditch the 2 boss, which kind of hurts. But the Eri, because like if I can get rid of some Mirage Gates for my opponent, that is actually a pretty happy situation. So let me get a Arceus into play, because that's part of what I want to do here for sure. So I will... They could play... What do I get rid of here? I need to attach an energy. Do I get rid of another boss? I kind of don't like... I'm going to get rid of a boss. I need Arceus into play. And I attach an energy. And I get to give him a poke. So a potentially meaningful poke. And I can switch into my active next turn. So it's not bad. Vulpix isn't great in this. Well, Vulpix, when I attack, becomes immune to Cramorant, right? Because it's walling of abilities. But the Giratina V-Star doesn't have an ability. It's not a basic, so that's why the Giratina V-Star is tricky here, right? I'm glad to get this early damage in, and you know I may actually. So they're evolving. So now, I can't knock them out this turn. But they might not be doing much of anything. I think I need to Iono here. I think. Maybe I don't. Well, the problem is they're going to knock me out. They're going to knock me out. So if they attach here, right? So I'm gonna Eri. I'm not gonna Iono, because Iono does help them out too much, I think. So let's see what I get. Okay, Palpad. I was hoping to get a Mirage Gate. So they play Collapse Stadium. They have a double turbo. Okay, they have Giacomo in hand, so that's good to know as well. Just drop that another Arceus, because I'm probably going to need that. And give him another poke. And right, I just didn't want to Iono. I wanted the cards that Iono got me, but I don't want to help my opponent out here, right? They don't have... Ditching the Palpad's useful, and what did I get rid of? What was the other card? And the Switch card. So Switch is good. They obviously couldn't play it yet. So if they get a Comfy down, they probably can't get the Comfy into the active. So probably I Iono this turn if nothing else happens, because so they do 260. Well, they knock me out, so I don't need to switch. So I need to get my Arceus. If I hit Arceus V-Star, I just win the game. They're going to get rid of the... I assume it's Lost Tina, but I don't... Actually, maybe it's Arctina, right? Because they play the double turbo. So might be an Arctina deck, which is good. So I'm going to Iono this turn. And, yeah. I need a V-Star. If I hit the V-Star, I have game. So because I do 180 damage, having that one basic energy attached was good. I'm glad it wasn't a special energy, because they would have discarded that with their supporter. Opponents being very slow. I think it's Arctina, but I'm not certain. So I Iono this turn, and I hope I win, right? Because otherwise I'm letting my opponent back in the game. But there's a good chance I can win this turn, and I do. I have game, so that is that, right? So, you know, the odds were on my side. So grab the double turbo, and let's just in case and I'll grab an Arceus, another V-Star. Might as well just do this and do this, just in case for some weird reason I don't win the game. But I do, so I might as well just make the plays. Like, this is what I do if the game is going to continue, right? So just making those plays, not dragging out the game too much, I hope, for my opponent, because obviously they bricked badly. Very pleased about this. So I guess it was Arctina. And got the win. So a very nice performance by the deck there, and really horrible just luck on my opponent's part. All right, sorry, I will choose heads. Was looking the other way for a second there. Lost the coin toss, which I did last game as well. Obviously want to go first, but you know, we'll see what happens. And of course, like I said, the last game, when your opponent wants to go second, you know, sometimes that's not a great feeling, right? You get what you want, but sometimes. So probably going second, I prefer. So Noibat. It's not okay. We'll see what I'm up against. Whether I want to attach this energy to Noibat or not. So I don't know. Maybe a Charizard deck, could be a Lost Zone. Could just be a basic Lost Zone deck too. I want to. So I really don't want an Iono here. Just drop down Arceus, I think. If it's the regular Charizard deck, I mean, I could. Do I want to research here? Maybe I do. Do I want to toss down the Lost City? I will. I mean, I might regret the Lost City, but I don't think I need the Noivern. I don't think so. I was hoping to get down a Vulpix this turn, and I'll still do that. I will just, let's think. I think I want the boss. I'll get rid of this. This is a bit risky, but I feel like if I keep this hand for next turn, I am golden, and I didn't want Iono, of course. So this is nice. So I can attack with Arceus next turn, power up the Vulpix, which is good. I just need one. I need one water energy. I play what, 5 in the deck, I believe. Yeah, so 1, 2 in the discard pile, which isn't ideal, but that's okay. So Iono, unfortunately, but so you know, but having kept the Ultra Ball wouldn't help because that would be at the bottom of my deck. So okay, I mean, so I think I need to. Do I need to? I guess I might. Do I? I mean, Eri's not bad here either, right? So yeah, so Vulpix is the key to this game here. I'm certainly happy to Lost Zone the Radiant Charizard, which might be what happens. And then it's going to be, you know, so Eri, get rid of a rare candy if they have it. I do play TM Devolution in the deck, right? Do I? I'm trying to remember. I've been switching decks around or lists around some. No, I do not play TM Devolution. I wouldn't. Do I need that? I think in these rare candy decks, generally, the Vulpix can win the game, so I don't probably need the TM Devolution, right? I don't need that extra way to beat the same deck. I don't need to beat the same deck twice, right? So they're just going to Rotom. That's fine. Wow, so they're not going to have any cards in hand. So, well, that's exactly what I needed. So, yeah, that's exactly what I needed. So I will Eri, see what I have, get rid of these two guys, which, okay, evolve you. Maybe I want to get, maybe I just get the Noibat out of play, actually. That might be my goal here. So wait, what's the energies? So I have, do I have the energies I need? It's not great, the energy situation, so I could, I could be greedy. I'm going to grab 2 Professor Turo scenario and hope that that works, because this would be the dream play. I do run the risk of, oh, I blew it, didn't I? I blew it because I already used my supporter. I'm an idiot. So anyway, that was horrible. That was horrible on my part. Just horrible. Okay. So, yeah, there's no excuse for that. So wow, that was just being brain dead. And now I've lost those 2 cards that I got because I didn't play either of them. So that was pretty much unforgivable, is all I can say. But, yeah, okay. How do I want to work this? How do I work this? That's part of my, that was just, I can't believe that. Wow, I got way too clever and too cute and ended up doing nothing that turn except help my opponent. I put the 2 cards that I want now at the bottom of my deck because I had them in hand and my opponent, I owned them to the bottom of the deck. So that was, I mean, there's just no defense. There's no excuse for what happened there. I just forgot that I had played the supporter, right? Yeah, so I should have waited. If I had done the Arceus first, it would have been okay. I would have lost the Eri, but that's okay. The fact that I did get rid of the 2 Ultra Balls does slow my opponent down, though. So their ability to search for a Pokemon and a rare candy same turn is definitely impaired. I think do I want to drop down another Vulpix? Maybe I do. I mean, I made that horrible mistake, right? So now it's going to be a longer game. I can't just get rid of the 2 Pokemon quickly. So I think making them hit through 2 Vulpix might be the right play. The Noibat doesn't particularly matter. I don't lose by the Noibat. I want to get rid of the Noibat so they can't do a double gust situation. They can only do that probably once, though. I mean, they probably play Counter Catcher, but they need Boss and something else. Rope is out of format, so that's a big plus for me. I can't believe I made that mistake. I'm trying to ignore that because I just need to, what you got to do after a mistake like that. It happens. It happens to me for sure. I know it does, and it happens, I think, to everyone. I've seen top tier players. I've seen, certainly Tablemon, who's a terrific content creator and a terrific player. He's unfortunately on stream made some very poor plays on more than one occasion. They didn't want a Rotom. That part's very interesting, I gotta say. So I'm gonna do this largely to shuffle my deck, actually. Don't want this I have Vulpix, okay. So I'm gonna drop down the Vulpix. I'm going to, I guess I'm going to Iono, because I do want to get some more cards here, right? So I'm going to retreat. I'm going to take the knockout, and the Charizard's gone for good, which is a plus. Okay, Prime Catcher is very nice as well. What's the energy situation here? So do I want to... I could Rod now. I guess I will. I guess I should have used the Darkness energy now that I think about it, right? I wasn't thinking. I didn't, well, I didn't know what I was going to get, right? So powering up the Arceus, the Alolan Vulpix, right? That's the goal here. Energy. I have 2 more waters in deck, so I need to get those on my V-Star. Okay, another Prime Catcher. I don't know that I'm going to need that. Getting my Vulpix Lost City is not great. Although, look, I'm okay about that, right? So I probably want to Turo away this Arceus if I can. Certainly not guaranteed. And I probably Prime Catcher this turn. probably Prime Catcher and take out a Charizard, I think, because the Charizards still are nasty. You know, they're very tanky. So look, I'm in a good position here. That one play is it's just inexcusable, unforgivable, whatever you want to say about it. It's deserved, but hey, don't quit when you make mistakes like that. That's one thing. You know, you grow as a player by making mistakes, and first you learn so you don't make them. So my opponent stopped playing because, you know, unfortunately, I mean, they lost. I don't fully understand why people stop playing, but they just kind of seem to walk away at times. I mean, they may have desynced too, but, you know, they were in a bad spot, and it seemed like, you know, when people go, things turn badly, there is a tendency for people to stop playing. All right, let's see what happens here. Got off to a hot start with the decks. Things have cooled off. I'm now 3-3 from when I started, but that means I am, you know, that means I'm that slow grind to Arceus, right? That's what it means, right? I played some games before I started the video. So when I started playing this deck, I was at 1,200 points. I played 6 games. I'm 3-3, so I'm now moved ahead 30 points. Am I first or second, by the way? It doesn't. I'm first. All right, this could be bad, but, you know, anything could be bad too, right? There's always the downside. So, but double turbo on Arceus is good, right? So up against Dialga. Now this is not a matchup I like at all. Okay, so how can I deal with this? The Vulpix is no good. He's weak to metal, so don't play the Vulpix. Noibat's no good. I think this is just Arceus and hoping I can power through with Arceus. That's all I can do here, right? Okay, so I just got to power through with Arceus. That's it. So, yeah. So I assume it's Dialga, right? We'll see a Radiant Greninja. They may have Arceus in hand. I mean, Dialga in hand, sorry. I mean, I guess it could be something else other than Dialga, but I'd be surprised. Excuse the yawn. But if it is a Dialga deck and they don't have a Dialga in hand or have access to it, then that grabbing the Radiant Greninja with the Nest Ball was a very, I will say, surprising move, right? Alolan Vulpix is no good unless they play an ability attacker, right? Which my assumption is it's Dialga. Its V-Star power is an attack. So they're getting the switch up, which is obviously, so they're slowing me down. So I'm guessing it's a Dialga deck, and they missed on the Dialga. All right, so I play a switch. I'll attach the V-Guard energy because that's good for me still. And just Colress. I got this guy. Let's see, Boss is good. And I don't, do I want the Turo scenario? I might just want that too, right? For next turn. So I bench him. I'm going to use my V-Star power. I need a switching card. Do I want a Prime Catcher? I think I want to save the Prime Catcher if it's there, because I'm don't feel like taking out something else is really, it's not that good for me, right? What's the energy situation, by the way? Okay, lots of energy. So I will let's grab a V-Star. And yeah, so this is good. So I'll have 2 fully powered up attackers here. This one guy's going to do a little less damage, but generally that's okay. I could Lost City. I don't think I want a Lost City though, do I? Or do I? No. Actually, I'm going to Lost City because it just puts a little more pressure on them. Right. If I can get two Beldums out of play, that's actually pretty good for me. That's my thought, right? Because then they can't get you know, because I think to me 3 in play is what you want to get. So being able to get a second one out of play for the duration of the game, right, is a plus. So see what happens here. Again, I think it's a Dialga V-Star deck. Maybe it's not though. I mean, I'm assuming it is, and they were being greedy when they benched the Radiant Greninja, and they paid the price for that. They're like, hey, they want to get extra resources and get Dialga into play. So what are they going to do now? So dropping down these Matangs. If things stay like this, I'm going to boss up a Matang and really set them back further. So this is really nice. So my opponents are doing almost nothing. So you know what? I'm going to drop down one more of these guys. Attaching one energy there. Gonna gust up a Matang. So now they lose. They can only get 2 Matangs tops now because the basics are gone. And and I'm getting a 3rd Arceus down. So they're gonna have to just really, you know, they're in a lot of trouble. That's what I'll say. Okay, so I now have access to my 3rd Arceus Vstar. Yeah, so this is good. This is very good, and I have Cheren's Care, which I like a lot. That's much better than Professor Turo scenario. Though I could use that too if necessary. My opponent conceded. Yeah, they were just getting smacked around. I assume it was a Dialga V-Star deck, and they had to have been very unhappy that they never got a Dialga V-Star in play, a Dialga V in play, if that's the case. So got another win. So yeah, so this deck right now, since I started doing it, 7-3. I was hoping for better, I gotta say, and I hope I start to get a little better performance than that. But even at that 7 games, I've gotten 60 points. So you know, doing a little better than 500 is kind of the goal. Obviously want to get more towards 60, 70, 75% was what I'd hope for. 100% obviously is the dream, but not going to happen. But the deck is definitely performing. Pleased with it. And I'm just going to close things up with a little pack opening, which you can stick around for if you want to see. One of the things I don't usually do pack openings at the end of these videos. Sometimes I do, but I'm getting now 3 of the Temporal Forces packs. And I'm starting to get to the point where I'm getting a decent amount of credits for some of these packs, and partly because I'm now opening a good amount of packs. So even this basic, you don't get a lot, but hey, on a basic, like on a common like that, but common and uncommon there. Okay, this one with the alternate art, I don't have that. Minccino, this alternate art first of that, but Charizard, not fully. I'm up to 3 of the 4, so pretty soon I'll get a full playset there, and that will give me decent returns. So again, you can see the collection is starting to fill up for this. As this is why I say hold off on crafting cards till you finish the battle pass, or at least as much as possible, because you're going to pull a lot of cards. You know, now the Relicanth, I get 100 credits there. That's very nice. And also because of EUIC, I think I got 12 packs altogether from watching the streams on EUIC, which was super nice there. So very pleased about that. And yeah, so obviously some good playable cards and a few credits there. So let's see what the credit total. So 310 credits, and most of them, a good number of them are from these duplicate cards. So this is, you know, getting these credits from the duplicates is just really important. And hey, don't forget there is trading in live. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise, because look, it says traded items. So I traded these cards away. So trading does still exist in live. Yeah, and not exactly like trading like we think of it, but I guess it is a trading card game, and they wanted to maintain trading in the game. So they technically, you do trade, although not really, right? Anyway, have some fun playing some Pokemon, and take care.